guys, welcome to my channel. It is Christian here. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I am super excited to be bringing you my review of the new Fenty Beauty line. I am so excited about this brand. Of course, I have as much of the products on my face as humanly possible. If you guys are not aware, she did not release like a full range. I think her focus was skin, flawless, beautiful skin. And I think we're going to start to see the rest of the products like as they roll out, like eyeshadows, mascaras, and things like that. But, you know, her primary focus was foundations and highlighters. And oh my god, what I have and what is on my face is a complete spoiler alert. This foundation so far is fire. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. I've only had it on my skin for about an hour, but it is really good. So far, these products are worth every penny. And the good thing about it is, as far as Sephora brands are concerned, it is fairly reasonably priced. I would say it's in line with MAC, Benefit, you know, all of those prices, Urban Decay, maybe even a little bit cheaper. I was expecting this to be a lot more expensive than it was, so when the prices rolled out, I was pleasantly surprised. And I am going to be testing all of this throughout the day. It is a first impressions, but it is also a wear test. So I will be wearing this all day long. I will let you, I'm going to come back at the end of the night and let you know how everything wore. I'm going to check in natural daylight. I do Foundation Fridays on my channel every single week. So this is going to be a kind of similar layout to my Foundation Fridays if you're familiar with it, but it's going to be the entire brand. So I picked up 5 products in total, which I will go over with you guys in just a moment. And I have to say, my skin, I feel so good about my skin right now. I know I'm kind of giving it away, but I think that this foundation, I think that this new makeup line is about to be a banger. Like, it's going to be on point, so freaking good. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, wasn't that impressed. But when I started putting things on my face, when I saw everything in person, I was like, you did that, Rihanna. Like, Rihanna, bad girl Riri, she did it. Like, the highlights are beautiful, like everything. Okay, you know what? We're going to go ahead and get into the first impressions because I'm about to spoil all of it for you guys. That's how excited I am about this collection and how everything is looking on my skin and on my face right now. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, if you do not mind, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. I do post 5 videos a week here on my channel, usually Monday through Friday, but every once in a while I'll kind of just randomly throw them in, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, which is what I am doing this week with this foundation, or with this wear test. I'm so excited about this, you guys. So if you were into, you know, fashion hauls, if you're interested in first impressions, Foundation Fridays, Sephora hauls, things like that, I have all of that here on my channel. I will link a couple of my more recent first impressions down below. Maybe you'll decide that you want to stick around. If you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are not new to my channel, welcome back, you guys. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get on into it. So yesterday I went to Sephora. So you can already tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a Fenty Beauty first impressions, but also a review and wear test. So I'm going to wear this foundation throughout the entire day, all of these products throughout the entire day. And then I'm going to come back on at the end of the night and I'm going to let you see how everything is looking, how everything is holding up. I normally do a series called Foundation Friday where I do the same thing when I test out foundations and things like that. But we're going to test out everything that I did purchase. And just for reference, if you wanted to know, everything I purchased from Sephora was from Fenty Beauty. I purchased 5 things, and after tax my total came out to $193.77. And I'll quickly tell you everything that I got. First of all, I love the the actual packaging on everything is really beautiful, like, and just edgy and chic. I really like it. So the most expensive thing that I picked up was this guy. This retailed for $54. This is the Matchstick Trio, and it conceals, contours, and highlights. It comes in the shade Linen, Amber, and Starstruck. I picked up the Killawatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo, and I got mine in the shade Mean Money and Hustle Baby. And this guy retailed for $34. Then I picked up the Fenty Beauty, obviously, Yacht Lyfe. This is the highlighter, blush, and enhancer. It says it is a long wear, light as air for layering. And this was the closest thing to a blush that was in the line. It is going to be a little bit shimmery. Then I got, of course, the foundation and the primer. I picked up my foundation in the shade 150. So the foundation is a soft matte longwear foundation. It comes with 1.08 ounces, which is a little bit more than the standard amount of product that you get in a foundation. And I did pick mine up in the shade 150, which I believe was described as light with neutral undertones. And I also got the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer, soft matte. It says soft matte, but it's the only shade available. And this also comes with 1.8 fluid ounces. Both of these retail for 34 bucks, which I do think is very reasonably priced, especially when it has a celebrity's name on it. I was expecting these to be a lot more expensive than what they actually came out to be. So the most expensive thing in the line, as far as the makeup is concerned, is the matchstick set. But if you didn't want to buy the set, you can buy these individually, and they retail for $25 a piece. So I do think that everything is fairly priced. The only thing I don't have is the lip gloss, because if you want me to be honest, I was too excited about this video. I had actually purchased everything online, being afraid that it was all going to sell out, or a lot of the stuff I was interested in was going to go sell out. And then I happened to be close to a Sephora. If you live in the Houston area, I was in Rice Village. And I walked into Sephora and they had everything that I had ordered online in store, but I completely forgot to pick up the lip gloss, so I will not have that today. I wasn't really interested in the tools. Sorry, I'm kind of working in my moisturizer. I wasn't really interested in the tools that she released. So if you are not familiar with my Foundation Fridays, normally what I do when, even though this video is going to go up before Friday, normally what I do when I test out a foundation is I do half of my face with a brush and half of my face with the Beauty Blender. I will be doing the exact same thing today. Just so you guys know, to start, I did put a little bit of my Too Faced Hangover RX. So first we're going to start with the primer. Everything is really nicely packaged. And this is extremely beautiful. Like the packaging itself, I love the layout of it. The detail is really nice. It is a frosted glass packaging, so you might not want to travel with it. I love the nude packaging. I think it's really pretty. When I saw it online, I will admit that I was kind of like, oh, I'm not really that into it. But when I actually physically saw it in person, I was like, this was well thought out, really nice packaging. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to read off what it says that the primer does. It says it is a shine-stopping, pore-diffusing primer that smooths the way for better foundation application and long wear with an instant retouch effect. Okay, so another thing that I think is good to note, it says, unlike a basic mattifying primer, Pro Filt'r's cushiony, touch me now textures mattify skin with the lightest possible feel for a full-on sensorial experience. So basically what I'm gathering from that is it is going to be a mattifying primer, but it's not going to be one of those types of mattifying primers that is going to like completely dry out your skin and like suck the life out of your skin. So hopefully, let's go ahead and see. It does come with a pump, and that is what it looks like. It almost has like a milky pinky, like a milky pink type of color to it. You can see that it definitely has a little bit of give to it. It is slightly running down my hand. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to focus this in my T-zone only, because the rest of my face does get pretty dry. Blends out really easily. It actually sets really easy as well, so it's actually already setting down. It doesn't feel heavy. As you can see, I had like my moisturizers and stuff on all over my face, and my face does look in the center of my forehead where I did apply the primer. It does look a little more mattified. It's not as glowy and luminous as the rest of my skin. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not going to put it all over my face because I don't get oily all over my face. Now I'm going to take the tiniest bit more because I do feel like it softly blurred my pores, but not as much as some of my favorite pore filling primers would. So I'm going to kind of take that a little bit more right here in the center and just kind of press it into the smile lines and to see if that'll help get rid of the pores a little bit. Okay, so it did give them a blurring effect. Not as much as some of my favorites, but it's also really nice because if you don't like those heavy silicone based primers, this doesn't feel like that. There is a tiny bit of tackiness to it, which is good, which means that the foundation should apply really nicely over top. And I'm going to go in with the foundation next. Again, I have mine in the shade 150. I just broke the container. It has the exact same packaging. The only difference is this has a white top where the primer has more of like a pinky beige top. But I think that the packaging is aesthetically pleasing if packaging is important to you. It does say shake well on the back before use, so let's go ahead and do that. And let me pull it up, the claims really quickly online so we can know what those are. And again, 40 shades, like that is amazing. Like she wants everybody to feel included. She wants everybody from the palest of the pale to the deepest of the deep to be able to find their foundation shade. And there's not a lot of brands out there that do that. So just for that reason alone, kudos to her, kudos to this brand. That is absolutely amazing. It could not have been easy to come out with 40 shades to make sure that everybody who wants to try out your makeup brand has the ability to do so. So I find that very, very impressive. So it does say that it is going to be a medium coverage foundation, which is fine because my redness is not as flared up as normal. So medium coverage should be fine. It says that it will work for sensitive, normal, oily, dry combination. So pretty much everybody should be able to wear this foundation, everybody and anybody. So of course, depending on what your skin type might be, you might need to cater your primers to the foundation, but she claims it's for everybody. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do have more dry, oily combination skin. I do get a little bit oily in the T-zone, but the rest of my face is very dry. And in the winter, my face is like a desert. It basically says it is a soft matte long wear foundation with a buildable medium to full coverage. It also says it's in a boundary breaking range of colors, which I kind of already touched on. It says that it gives skin instantly smooth, pore diffuse, shine free finish that easily builds to medium full coverage. It says that the oil-free formula is made with climate adaptive technology that's resistant to sweat and humidity. So that's good, especially if you live in Texas like I do. And it won't clog pores. Wherever you are, it's going to work on your skin. Best of all, the long wearing lightest air texture is undetectable on your skin, and it always looks like, basically it's saying, so it always looks like your skin. So those are really, really good claims. And I forgot to mention, Fenty Beauty is also cruelty free. I always start with a brush application. So we're going to do brush on this side. We're going to do Beauty Blender on that side. I actually didn't swatch any of the colors. This is the color that I decided to go with online. So that's just the color I bought in store. It was the last one. The counter was crazy, so I didn't really feel like swatching 10 different foundations to make sure I found the right one. But I did swatch it when I got home, and it did look like it was going to be okay. That actually might be a hair too light. No, it's okay. It's blending into my neck. And again, I got mine in the shade 150. And for reference, I'm usually about an NW20 in MAC. In the dead of winter, sometimes I can get away with an NW15, but for the most part, I'm NW20. That is blending beautifully. That's nice. I mean, look at that. And my pores still look blurred. It's not clinging to anything. It's blending effortlessly. Of course, where I have, you know, more redness on my skin, it is not covering completely, but as you guys can tell, I have a lot of discoloration on my skin. It's not wanting to cover some of the red patches I have on my forehead, but we're going to see if it's buildable because it does claim to be buildable. It's really nice coverage though. I'm going to take a little bit more in the areas where I would want a little more coverage, like right in here. It almost feels a little cooling. I don't know if that's just me, but like when I applied it to my skin, it felt a little bit like cooling when you first apply it, or it might just be my brush. I did wash them last night, but it is completely dry. So that is a really nice medium coverage foundation, and my pores look really good. The only thing I will say, and again, once I apply the foundation on this half of the face, we'll see if we can build it up. If you have like rosacea or discoloration on your skin like I do, you can still see it still peeking through a little bit of the redness, but we'll see if we can get that covered. I might try to go in with a beauty blender right there just to keep the coverage a little bit lighter. But everywhere else, oh, and it dries down quickly. It's already dried down. The tiniest bit of tackiness, not too bad. We'll see how it sets down completely after I apply the beauty blender half. And then let's see what we get. This is blending out really nicely with the sponge as well. A little bit of a lighter coverage, of course. We definitely have a little bit more glowiness and luminosity with the sponge, but I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to a brush because I actually have a lot to do today and I want my face to kind of match. And as you can kind of see, the sponge definitely is a lighter medium coverage. You can kind of see the difference, especially on my forehead. So I'm going to take one more pump, just to kind of even it out so my skin looks the same on like both sides of my face. So the sponge application is really beautiful as well. I'm taking one extra pump, but that actually might have been too much because that's kind of covering my whole forehead. So and then where I want to try to cover up a little bit more of the redness, but I don't want to add like a ton of extra product, I'm just going to take the Beauty Blender in the center of my face with whatever product was left. And then I'm going to kind of just work it. I do prefer for my skin the brush application, but I do think that the Beauty Blender, depending on what your skin concerns were, the Beauty Blender would work nice if you didn't have, like I mentioned, the discoloration or acne breakouts that I do. I forgot to mention what time it was. It's 10:45 currently, so that way we can see how long this is going to wear throughout the day, how nice it's going to look. I think that the foundation looks absolutely amazing on the skin. As you guys can see, everything is canceled out. All of my redness is completely gone. I really love this foundation. So next we're going to go in with the Matchstick Trio for concealing, contouring, and highlighting. Again, I got mine in the shade Light 100, which is Linen, Amber, and Starstruck. So the packaging, of course, is magnetic. So let's take a look. We have Linen here, which looks like it might be a bit light, which is the concealer. Then we have Amber, which looks like it's going to be a perfect cool tone contour. And then we have Starstruck, which is the, ooh, that is really beautiful. That's Starstruck. That is a gorgeous highlighter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with, Linen, which is the concealer shade. It tugs on the under eye. It feels a little bit drying. I feel like I would have probably classified this more as a highlighting stick, like a matte highlighting stick, as opposed to a concealer. But that's just me personally. Let's see, like I mentioned, it does tug, but let's see how well it'll blend out. I'm gonna put it in all of my normal highlighting areas. And then I'll start with the brush, and then if I need to switch over to a Beauty Blender, I will. I'm going to start on the chin. It's lifting my foundation a little bit on the chin. I don't know if you can see that. And then we're going to kind of work it out. It's very soft and very subtle, which I think is what Rihanna was going for with this makeup line. It is providing a little bit of highlighting though. Not bad. It's blending out pretty easy. It tugs a little bit though, but it is blending. I'm going to go ahead and start on the under eye. We're going to feather it out here first. I feel like this would be a good product to like really warm up on the back of your hand first, and then to apply directly under the under eye. That's not bad. I don't know if this is a product I would reach for very often, but it's blending, and then I'll go in and kind of finish blending everything out in just a second. It's not bad, and I thought it was going to be too light. This is blending pretty decently. I think it's a little too drying for my under eye, so I would either recommend applying a little bit of oil and kind of apply a little bit of oil to kind of let it kind of mix in together if you have drier skin, because a lot of oil will make it a little bit more blendable and a little easier to use. Or this might not be the best product for the under eye if you have dry under eyes. My pores, you guys, look so good right now. It's ridiculous. I think that that is pretty good skin. So not my favorite for concealer application, but I actually think it looks pretty decent. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the contour. And again, this is in the shade Amber. That's a really good contouring color. It does, like I mentioned, just like the concealer, it does tug a little bit, but nothing too bad. It does tug on the skin though, so keep that in mind. So I'm taking my Morphe E8, and then I'm going to start blending this out. That is a very subtle contour. Let's get it on this side. But look how easily it's blending. Like, I feel like it's blending really effortlessly. And it's so natural. I feel like if you're not a contouring person, like this will work for you because it's so natural. I'm going to go back and intensify the cheeks in just a sec. But let's kind of see how it'll work on the forehead. It's very cool. It has the right amount of ashiness as well. And since I'm not a person who contours normally, I kind of like the fact that it's definitely a lot of it light. I kind of like the fact that it's a little bit on the lighter side. I'm still going to use my E8. This is a different one. I have two. This is a different one from the under eye concealer. And then I'm just going to kind of blend this in, push it back towards the hairline. So if you have super fair skin, the contour might actually even be a little light for me. But if you have super fair skin, this is going to be perfect for you. Since I don't like a harsh, strong contour anyway, I kind of like the fact that it is a little bit lighter. Look how easily that's blending. It's so natural. Like, this is perfect for natural, just healthy skin. That is what Rihanna was going for. I feel like she nailed it out of the park. So let's see if we can kind of intensify things a little bit. Again, I'm not a contouring person, so we're going to intensify, blend things out a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit more. See if we can get it to that next level for those of you guys who kind of are into super structured cheekbones. So we put a little bit more. I'm going to kind of blend it to the sides of the temple. And then we're going to go in with the Beauty Blender and we're going to kind of just blend things out a little bit more. I think it's blending nicely. Or you can, of course, always go in with a little bit of your concealer. Slightly underneath where you applied your contour. I'm going to take a smaller brush and then just blend it out. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and set everything down, put my brows on. I'm going to apply a little bit of powder. We'll come back on, we'll try the highlighters and all that good stuff. So I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back. I just put a little bit of a bronzer in the crease, did my brows, and set everything with powder. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't done that yet because we still have a couple more cream products to go in with. But it's too late, so we're going to move on. I wanted you also to see how everything looked on the skin just by itself because I am going to go in with a little bit of a bronzer to warm my skin up. Now what I'm going to do, since this is like the only blush style product, this is Yacht Lyfe, and that is what it looks like. It is super beautiful. I'm going to try to use it as a blush. I'm going to take it on the butt of my Beauty Blender. Got the extra product. Okay, it's applying nicely over powder. It is subtle. It's not disrupting foundation, and it is actually applying over powder pretty nicely. I think that that looks really nice and really subtle. So I like that. I think it's pretty, it's natural if you do have a lot of texture, if you have a lot of breakouts and things like that, because it is more of a shimmery style product. You might not love it, or you might want to apply maybe a matte blush over underneath, and then to give it a little extra something something, apply that as kind of like a blush topper and just dab it on with the Beauty Blender. That could be really pretty. Now I'm going to take Starstruck. Really softly in hopes to not disrupt my foundation. That's pretty. And then this is a Sephora Pro Concealer Brush, number 57. I'm going to try to lightly feather that. All right, that's working. Now we're going to take Fenty Beauty, I don't know why I keep saying Fenty Beauty, everything is Fenty Beauty. We're going to take the Killawatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo, and again I have it in the shade Mean Money and Hustle Baby. This is what the packaging looks like. And there they are swatched. And there they are swatched right there. Mean Money, which is this one, looks a little bit more matte and a little more subtle. And then Hustle Baby is the one that's going to give you intense color payout. Brush, and I'm actually going to take Hustle Baby on the inner corner. They are very soft powders. Start with Mean Money. We're just going to layer up the highlighter today. I'm going to start with Mean Money. This is my Anastasia brush. And then I'm going to go directly over top the highlighter I just put down. I'm just going to see how highlighted we can get today. Now we're going to take Hustle Baby. And we're going to see what we can get with Hustle Baby. I'm going to start this one a little further back. Wow. That's beautiful and intense. If you have textured skin, don't bring it too far down, especially this color. This one is more of like the topper, I guess, to kind of intensify things and take that look to the next level. Keep this a little bit further back on the cheekbones and you'll be fine. If you bring it too far in, it will accentuate texture. That's beautiful and very high shine. I'm gonna put a little bit right here, a little bit right here. And then I'm gonna flip my beauty blender and then just kind of work things in. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lip and fix my hair off camera, and then I will be right back to give you my first initial thoughts on how everything applied and how I feel about the product so far. So I will be right back, you guys. All right guys, and I am back. Everything is done. Since I'm gonna wear this throughout the day, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I just want you guys to kind of see how everything is looking on the skin as of right now. The only thing that I'm kind of like about is the concealer stick, but I feel like that should have been geared more as like a matte highlighting type situation and not necessarily a concealer. That is the only thing as of right now that I did not think was absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. I love the way my skin is looking right now. I'm gonna go ahead and come a little bit closer to the camera so you guys can kind of see. We're gonna wear this throughout the day, check in, and then at the end of the night, I'm gonna bring you my final thoughts. But so far, it like couldn't get better if she tried. Here we are a little bit closer up. The only thing that I will say, the foundation oxidized the teeniest a bit, like teeny tiny amount, but I don't think it's enough to where you have to go like 1 or 2 shades lighter in your foundation. Highlighters are beautiful. The foundation looks absolutely amazing on my skin. I am having a really good skin day. Everything just so far just seems absolutely stunning. I'm gonna kind of, this is what we're looking at. This is what you kind of see. You know, I think that if you have problematic skin like I do, this foundation is going to be beautiful. The concealer did not dry down, or the primer didn't dry down in like a really ugly way to where if you have super dry skin, it's going to be like too mattifying for you. Not at all. It just looks really beautiful, really healthy. My skin doesn't look overly matte. It's highlighted where I want it to be highlighted. It is, you know, very blurred, very, very beautiful. So far, 2 thumbs up. It is a little after 11:45, so you guys will go with me through my day. Well, actually, I'll just do a couple of check-ins throughout the day, and then I'll come back at the end of the night and let you know what I am thinking about everything. But so far, I am really, really pleased. Hey, you guys, and I am back for a check-in. It is a little bit before 4 o'clock, and I have to say that this foundation is amazing. This foundation is holding up so nicely. My pores are still blurred. It has not sank into fine lines or wrinkles. The coverage is nice. Everything about this foundation is nice. The highlighters, every time I look in the mirror, because I've been checking the foundation a lot throughout the day because I really want to see how this foundation is going to wear. Every time I look in the mirror, the highlights are still nice. The foundation itself is still in place. It hasn't oxidized any more than what it did when I mentioned it earlier today. I think that this is quality stuff. I'm super impressed. Again, the only thing I'm kind of like iffy on is the under eyes, because I do think they look a little dry and a little crepey, but that's just because of the concealer I use, so I'll play with it a little bit more. I'll test that product out a little bit more, but so far everything is an A+. I'm super into it. I think it's really good quality. I think Rihanna nailed the foundation formula out of the park. The primer does not feel heavy. It does not feel matte. I'm not overly oily in the places where I typically get oily. I'm just nice and highlighted and dewy and just perfect, and I love it. I'm so into it right now. So hopefully, because you guys know I'll love a foundation for about the first 5 or 6 hours, and then hour 7 everything just goes downhill. I am praying that this foundation stays nice throughout the day, because if it does, like, we have a winner on our hands. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in so you guys can kind of see what things are looking like in natural daylight, and I will check back in with you guys back home at the end of the night, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye guys. Hey guys, and I am back. It is currently at 10:12, so I've had this foundation on for nearly 12 hours. And can we talk about it for a second? Because I know that is why you are here, because you want to like talk about it. I freaking love this foundation. Like, it is about to, dare I say it, it is about to replace my beloved Laura Mercier foundation. That is how much I like this. It held up, you can see there's a little bit of oil that has happened throughout the day, but it has not broken apart on the skin. I mean, it's done the normal stuff. It sank into my fine lines a little bit. We've gotten a little shiny throughout the day. So maybe where did it go? So maybe if you have super oily skin, this primer might not control your oils enough. I think for me and my more dry to combo skin, even though some oils have definitely started to come through, I don't look like a greasy grease ball, but I'm like, you know, I feel like if I had super oily skin, and this was my only line of defense, I think that the primer might not have gotten the job done. But I still think that everything looks good. I mean, high highlight, almost 12 hours later, the highlight looks like it did almost the second I put it on. Nothing has rubbed off. The coverage is exactly the same as it was when I put it on. When I originally spoke about the oxidizing, it has not oxidized anymore since then. You can still see the bronzer, you can still see the contour, I should say. It's not really a bronzer. You can still see the bronzer, you can still see the highlighter, you can still see where I applied the more shimmery blush. Everything has lasted so well on the skin. The highlighter is beautiful. I kind of regret not buying the blotting powder now, because I would love to see how that would have taken down shine and how that would have revived my skin. I kind of regret not doing that. I almost thought about stopping at Sephora on the way home to pick it up so we could test it out on camera, but I was like, okay, that's excessive. You need to like not do that. Now the contouring, the contour I do like, and as you know, I'm not a contouring person. I don't do it very often, but I think that the blendability, the ease of use with this particular product, I think that it made it a lot easy to contour, to kind of give yourself a little bit of a natural structure to your face. I'm so here for everything. The only thing that I did not love was the under eye concealer. But as I look, I'm a little dry and I'm a little crepey under there, but it's not terrible. My under eyes have definitely looked worse. What else did I buy? Is that all I bought? I think that's it. Why do I feel like $200 does not go very far at Sephora? That's it. I guess that's it. I got 5 things, 200 bucks. Wow. Okay. The highlighter, love it. It's sleek. It's just everything. It's effortless. I just dug my finger into it. I think that if you like a very intense highlighter, this brand is going to be it for you, because this highlighter is a bomb. If you like more subtle highlights, maybe not. Everything was just good. Let me zoom in, because at this point I'm just saying it was all good, it was all great, it was all fantastic. I'm just saying that over and over again, because that's how genuinely pleased I am with everything. All right, so here I am a little bit closer up. We're going to kind of turn it so you can see the exact same coverage is still there. Here's the other side. So last week I was complaining, if you watched my Milk Makeup review, and how the foundation just completely settled in to my fine line. This did not happen. You know that discoloration on my forehead is a huge problem. No discoloration. My discoloration is not super visible. It's starting to patch off a little bit in the dry areas, but nothing noticeable. It hasn't gotten cakey around my nose like the foundation that I tried out a couple of days ago did. Like I mentioned, we do have a little bit of shine, but this is nearly 12 hours of wear. I think that the amount of shine that's on my face is not bad. It has settled into fine lines a little bit, but what foundation doesn't settle into your fine lines? And it's not bad. It is not bad at all. The only place where I would be kind of like, okay, if I'm going to be super critical and I just want to find something wrong with the foundation, it does look a little bit dry right in here, like right in my chin area. The cheeks look so good. I feel like everything just looks nice. Fenty Beauty gets 2 thumbs up from me. Everything that I tried, I love. The foundation is a must. If you're going to buy anything, if you're going to try anything from this line, the foundation would be an absolute must. And then the next thing that I think would be super important to try out, because I think that these are the products I feel like are going to be staples in this collection. I think you should try out one of the highlighters. So those are my top 2 recommendations out of everything that I did pick up. Next, I would probably after that say the primer if you want to give it a try. I would say buy the contour stick individually. I don't necessarily think you needed to buy the whole set, because like I mentioned, I don't love this. Now granted, if you bought 2 of these, it would cost you 50 bucks. So if you just wanted to spend the extra $4 to test out the cream highlight concealer thingamabob, then you definitely could have done that and it would have been $4 more. So if you just wanted to try it out, I did really think that this color is beautiful. This guy right here, I don't think it's something that I would wear it on the tops of the cheekbones. I think it is something that I would wear as a blush eye. Can you tell like I'm excited? You know how I'm excited, like if you watch my channel, you know that I get super excited when I start talking exceptionally fast. I'm excited about this brand. I want to pick up some more things. I cannot wait to see what launches next. This gets the seal of approval from me. All right guys, and that is pretty much it. Fenty Beauty, 2 thumbs up so far, so spot on from me. And I really hope that you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out. Hopefully this video will go up on Sunday. If it does go up on Sunday, I will see you in tomorrow's makeup haul Monday. Bye guys!